Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be building some rahi today. So we've got two manuals. Yeah, let's get started. So if you remember, these were stored in the other canisters of the Toa. And so there might be some other stuff mixed in here, but mostly those would have been mixed. Those would have been taken out and built. So yeah, they were disassembled into the canisters, so this should just be all the pieces for only the orange one. So yeah, today these are the Nui Rama, which I always refer to as like the dragonflies. I don't know if that's like an official thing. I'm pretty sure. I mean, certainly what they look like. I have to say I don't know much about the story of these. I know that there is they're in one of the comics in that first season. I don't know if one or both of them are in it, but I think Kapaka fights them in that first comic, and then I think like Liwa or someone gets knocked down by one in that second comic. I'm sure they get defeated in that third comic. But yeah, here, so let's just get to it. So I have these instruction manuals that have like probably been opened like once or twice. Yeah, I mean, wow, really brings me back to see these like measuring, right? Because it's like, oh, we want the 6. Okay, this is the right one. Here, I'm just gonna organize this a little bit. Yeah, you know, these masks are awesome. I'll talk about that later. So here we go. You want 2 of these, and to put them in here. And so this is like probably building like the main body of it, if I remember correctly. And so if you don't know, I'm building all of this upside down. So that's why like when I read stuff sometimes, it takes a little while. But I am, reading it upside down and trying to interpret these instructions upside down. But, so far, the only real mistake was Pahatu, and that was because actually he was, I was building that based off the canister. And so this orange one is a source of potential parts for Tahu, right, that are in his secondary color. Really just like these, I guess. Were kind of awkward to fit. So I didn't use them for that ever, but I know people do. Alright, looks good. And here's the last of these 6, these big ones. And you can kind of see actually the residue from these rubber bands. They're totally done. So it's not really going to have the function or like on the pieces where they were. They just died there. And so, personally I don't find these builds as rewarding as the Toa because it's more like assembling a Technic set, really, is kind of like what you're doing with these. And it's like, but you're building an animal. It's not like you're assembling a car. So, I think it was an interesting creative decision. Oh, whoops. We're not there yet. So here's the 4 piece. Yep. that Bionicle makes in this first wave, right, is that the villains are not like a common archetype the way that the heroes are. So that's interesting. Okay, I have done this backwards. All right, and then another interesting thing is this piece. I believe these, I mean, they're very familiar, right? This is like a piece where I look at it and I'm like, why is this so familiar? I mean, probably from this set, number one, and then I believe this piece is maybe in like the Exotoa or something. But I think originally isn't this the skis from the Throwbots or the Slicer? You know, I never had any of those. That's a little before my time. But I think that's what this one of the things where this piece was like prominently used before Bionicle. I have to say, you know, as I said, Bionicles were this sort of 2001 Bionicle era was like my first real Bionicles, and I don't know much about the history of Technic that goes later than that, other than things I've learned since as an adult. Okay, and so this, you can start to see it, is the handle of the back, the like, I don't know, carapace or the tail, I guess, of the dragonfly. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside and build this kind of crank house. And yeah, I guess I do want to talk about this for a second. So these I think are interesting. I don't know if this piece has a history in Lego before this, but what this reminds me of is something that you see really, especially in the early Bionicles and in the Toas, is that they're all constructed around these sort of like, you know, kind of like, I mean, crank houses, I guess, really, right? Like the Toa torso is designed to have these gears in it. And before that, you know, the Slicers or the Throwbots had a similar kind of thing that was a little simpler. And, you know, this is obviously nowhere near as sophisticated, but it is like kind of a similar concept, right? Where you have this gear action that moves creates the play feature. And it was actually very smart of Lego. This piece they made it so that these two fit together to create a like cohesive whole piece that you couldn't have molded this as one unit otherwise, right? I've always thought that this was one of the weirdest Bionicle pieces though, just because of that. It's actually made, I kind of think it's made out of a softer plastic, like radio plastic or whatever that's called. I don't know that for sure, but it's always felt different to me than this. And I should know, you know, I wish I knew the name of this composite. But yeah, this is, you know, like classic Lego plastic, and this I believe is something, it's a little softer. Okay, and that goes in there. Yes, okay, and so we'll set this aside, and now we have to make this. It's just an interesting mechanism, really, to be honest. And so the way it goes, yeah, if you can see here, is two of these. Oh, I did it wrong. So it's one of these adapters, one of these spacers, and then only one of these half spacers, and then this gear, and then the other spacer, but yeah. Okay, so 2 of these. This is, yeah, I'm finding this much more difficult than the Toa, I guess, obviously, but, you know, those, I guess I'd like to say you build them by heart, but you saw me try. And so you want this to be all the way in when you click this in to here so that it has the proper gearing. It's not fully clicked in. And yeah, as you can see, these spacers are what's aligning. It's allowing it to slide there on this mechanism. All right. So now we put it together. Now that's a satisfying sound. Wow, okay, so that's, you know, I have one of these and one of these. That's an older piece that got mixed in here somehow, but I'm not going to go replace it right now, but very interesting. Fortunately, you can poke that out through there with, like, not a bionicle piece, but something smaller, so it's not a big deal. But you know, I think at one point I had the Rahi unbuilt and just mixed in with everything, so that's not too weird that it has one of those older two lengths. And here we go. So we've got the core mechanism here. As you can see, I don't have the rubber bands, and I'm not going to find some other ones right now, so it won't snap back, but this is the idea here. Alright, and just to reinforce everything, I'm going to put that there, and that there. And then these go here, and that's what locks this into place here. And this piece I had to steal back from Nuju, so I don't know. I'm gonna just have to buy more of these. I guess those must just be the things that break the most easily. Okay, and so this piece is like, it doesn't really look like a Lego piece, but I mean, it does have the logo there, or at least a part number. So you know, I mean, it is a Lego piece. It's funny, I was looking at the video of, like, maybe it was the first, like, Death Star that Lego made, or maybe it was the second one, the one with, like, all the dioramas. And this piece is on. It's recolored in black and used as like a a railing, and I was like, wow, I've never seen that piece in any other set, I don't think. I actually got a little ahead of myself there. So we got 2 of these. I mean, this is this final sprint right here. So the arms go on. Both sides. And these go like so. I mean, do you see it now? Alright, the heads. And yeah, these heads aren't black, so if you were so inclined to make a fully black Toa, which might be one of the only colors that you can find every single piece in, probably black and white would be my guess. This is where this is a potential source of the black heads. And yeah, we got these masks. Alright, let's put his claws on. In these ones, in the instructions, the claws are sideways. I think I always played with them with the claws down, but you know, either or. It's like he's gripping something. And then this one, you know, the only real difference other than the color between the two is this beak thing. So this one has the like hook beak. Yeah, very intimidating, right? And then yeah, this piece is extra, and so I'm guessing that somehow I had extras of these and I subbed this in with Nuju. That's why all of these were intact, and that this piece here stayed. But cool. So this is the orange guy, and I'll just want to talk about this for a second. So you see here that it has them fighting each other. I mean, I love this play feature, and we'll get into it in a second. I just think this really complements the play features of the Toa, and it has this mask, but it can guard it, but it also is attacking. So it's funny they have them fighting each other here, because you got them in a set, and so you wouldn't necessarily buy this and buy a Toa, is why, but they're not really supposed to be fighting each other, I don't think. So here, I'll put this aside, I'll close this up, and we'll take the other one out. And this hopefully will go quicker, because we've already been through it, and I kind of have remembered how to do all this, right? And honestly, I mean, this is clever, you know, the way that Lego did this to hold this in place with this other thing. I mean, obviously those guys are masters at this stuff, but, you know, it's the type of stuff I wouldn't have thought of myself. And I keep wanting to jump ahead, but I keep telling myself not to, because that's how you like miss things, like little details, you know, when you assume. I mean, these rubber bands are absolutely toast. Yeah, wow. I think this one might still be intact. But these other ones, oh, and this one. Okay. So you've got, oh, this one is crusty. You've got 3 that are, you know, are technically not broken. But I think if I tried to use them, they would be broken. And I guess I want to talk about this gear. You know, these gears, I think these are older gear. I don't remember the name, but these are 8 tooth gear. As I think these are like a 10 or 12 tooth gear. These are like the ones that are common in Bionicle, and these are rounded. This is not in the set. This was just somehow around, but this is like a older thing, and you see it on this set, but you don't tend to see this gear. I actually don't know if you see this gear like in any other Bionicle. I can't think of one. I think I might have snapped these in a little wrong. I'm just gonna redo that. Yeah, because I want them to be straight like that when it's all said and done. I got ahead of myself. It's like, where is this piece? And so yeah, I guess it's interesting that they chose to make these pieces the secondary color of Liwa and of Tahu. I haven't thought too much about that, of like and I have to say I don't actually know, you know, exactly like what sorts of restrictions Lego works with in terms of like balancing color and across pieces. Like, is it how the polymer is dyed and whatnot, or if, you know, if the polymer color like pre-exists. But That's my guess, is that that's, you know, if they were going to make a bunch of stuff in this color, they had to like prepare this plastic. And so they want to sort of make sure that in each wave, and this wouldn't be a common Lego color necessarily, right? Orange and light green versus something like red and blue. So yeah, I'm not sure. I do think these are my favorite of the villains of this first wave. I mean, maybe actually, you know, technically, I think the tiger and the bull are the best, but these are our second. And these were, I believe, the first ones that I got. I think I got these for my birthday, along with, you know, Kopaka I got for my birthday party. It was like I got him as a party favor, and my other friends got some of the other Toa as their party favors, and so I think that was probably like the day before my birthday. And then this I probably got on my birthday. Alright, I'm gonna skip a couple steps here. Just get this assembled. Alright, I mean, done. This guy's done. And you'll notice that this is inverted. It kind of looks like Jaws. I think this one looks like, they both kind of look like dragonfly. I don't know which one is more. And there we go. But still got it. Yeah, these guys are cool. Yeah, if you wanted to like make an orange or a green, like Onua kind of with these claws, like you could do this. It wouldn't be the correct color, but it would be kind of interesting. And then this beak, you know, you could get two of these and make a orange golly. Yeah, and then one more thing. I'll put this away, and let's talk about the mask. The Ruru, this is the blue, not dark blue. Trans blue Ruru. I think this makes the Ruru, like this mask, makes the Ruru the Traga mask that was made in the most colors, because it's one of the ones that is one of the two Traga masks that was made in those quote misprints, which were not really misprints. They were accidentally released. I don't think they were supposed to be released, but the Traga masks of the Ruru and the Nuju's mask are both made in the Toa colors and the Traga colors, and then so this adds one more color for that. I don't think that the other mask, the Matatu, I don't think that has. I don't think that was made in any other colors other than the 6 or than the 12. So yeah, kind of a cool one, and it's the same as Golly. And so, you know, when I was little, I would put this on Golly. It just looks weird. I think all of the Traga masks, I think I said this in my other video, but something about them just they look odd on the Toa, and I don't think it's just like it looks odd to me because I know that that's not normal, because I tried to do this before that was like established as not normal. I just think these masks have a different aesthetic to them. So yeah, really interesting. Well, the other sort of interesting thing about this mask is if you were trying to like classify, because right, this mask has been made in blue, like trans blue and blue, which I think it makes it the only mask that's been made in those two colors, because the cow, which is trans blue by default, was never made in matte, Lego blue, like regular blue. And so if you were to like classify your Bionicle masks on a grid, this one would be like doubled up with that one in a very odd way. Yeah, and I'm sure I'll talk about that in a later video. So yeah, thanks for listening.